After the Panthers got smacked 47-10 by their division rival in week 1 with a huge buzzkill for the fan base, things just really got worse, and there's no rest for the weary for the Panthers fans as they got even more devastating news. It's been announced that their star and best player on the team, Derrick Brown, has suffered a potentially season-ending knee injury, man. And this is just a huge blow because Derrick Brown just signed a big, massive contract, making him one of the highest paid at the position, deservedly so. But things just keep piling up for the Panthers and adding injury to insult, or insult to injury, whatever you want to call it, no pun intended. So in this video, we're going to talk about all the Panthers news that came out of this week, what we heard from Dave Canales in his presser, and just what the fallout is for this Derrick Brown injury and all the other news that's going on. We're starting right now. What up, though? It's Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk, recap and analysis of these Carolina Panthers. For better or for worse is what goes on this channel. So if you want to support the channel, please subscribe down below. Hit the bell icon as well. It's going to make sure you get notified when these news updates happen. I got live streams. I got a film breakdown coming from that god-awful game this past Sunday as well. So make sure you stick around and subscribe, but also give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out in the engagement that way because we have to talk about this. And I want to get you guys comments down below how you feel about this Derrick Brown injury after what happened in yesterday's game, because Derrick Brown still played 60 out of the possible 66 snaps in the game. According to Dave Canales, they don't really know when the play happened. That just lets you know what type of warrior Derrick Brown is. Now, some people are trying to throw out allegations that Derrick Brown got paid and just ran and tucked his tail because things got bad. I just think that some people are so in their feelings and emotional right now, they're not even using logic. And I hate to be harsh in that way, but you guys really got to come down to earth, because Derrick Brown played more snaps than anybody at his position last year and broke tackles record for his position last year with over 100 tackles for a defensive lineman. Now, some of you say he just wanted to get paid. That's why he played so hard last year. No, Derrick Brown is what the Panthers stand for. He's an Iron Man. The type of toughness that you play with in a game, playing through a meniscus injury, it's not easy. And so there is a potential that he could come back. He's going to get a second opinion, according to Dave Canales, but things aren't looking good. He's not going to be here for the short term, and his long-term prospects are in the air. This is a snag of tremendous proportion. Now, people, the nature of meniscus injury, I'll tell from my experience, I tore my ACL and partially tore my meniscus. You can actually put weight on it. It's going to be painful. It won't feel great, but you can actually put weight. You can move. You're not going to be that functional. And you can see Derrick Brown getting pushed around a lot yesterday in the running game. And that's just completely unheard of. I showed you a film breakdown last year of Derrick Brown versus the Saints, and he was bullying guys. So for him to get pushed around like a rag doll at 6'5", 330, you could tell that he had no strength or no bend in that knee to be able to put up a fight. And it was just ugly to see, and you just hate it for a guy like this. And like I said, the best player on the team. And this is just devastating because who is going to replace Derrick Brown? Like I said, the best player on the team. I can't emphasize it enough. Who is going to replace him? If you look at the Panthers depth chart, they don't have a replacement. And I just think that's a microcosm of the situation that we're in. There's no one man that can replace what Derrick Brown does. Like I said, top 5 at his position in the league, bar none. I was expecting a breakout year for him. One of my hot takes was he was going to lead the team in sacks this year. That was my thought process. So to see him go down like this, it just hurts. Now, of course, they have guys on the roster like LeBron Ray. They brought up a guy, Jaden Peavy, of course, that's going to try to do that. And Dave Canales talked about it's just guys doing their job. Nobody should go out there and try to be Derrick Brown or try to make up for that. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get in your own way. Excuse me. They should try to go out and just do their job and do what's coached, and the plays will come to them. So I'm just really down in the dumps about this, man. Derrick Brown, I was just about to buy a jersey for Derrick Brown. It just seems like things go from bad to worse in terms of the Panthers fans. We just don't get a break. The misery keeps coming on. How do we take a loss and we didn't even play? I don't know. You guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about Derrick Brown being out and what you think about our defense, because the run defense already struggled. The pass defense struggled yesterday. Things aren't going to get any easier with the Chargers coming to town, who are a run heavy team. It's going to be a long road ahead, man. It's going to be kind of hard to watch, but the one thing that makes it easier for me to watch, that makes any game interesting, is fantasy football, and sports betting. And that's why I want to tell you about who I partner with, mybookie.ag. And winning season is back. So even if the Panthers aren't doing too great on the field, you can still capitalize on the Panthers. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops where they have their risk-free Thursday night bets. That way, if you place a wager, if it wins, you get paid. If you lose, they will refund your wager 100%. So if you feel guilty actually betting against the Panthers, you can actually bet on prop bets because they have their prop builder function. If you think that because Derek Brown is out, whoever they're playing against is going to run the ball a lot, you can bet on that running back to go over or under their yards, and you may have a good chance of cashing out the way that defense looked yesterday. But that's just the beginning. MyBookie has thousands of prizes that they're giving away with their Super, Survivor, and Squares contest. So get your entries in now for a shot at huge cash rewards. When you're ready to get started, use my code UBST to double your first deposit. Yes, 100% deposit match up to $1,000. So if you deposit $100, they're going to match you with another $100 in free bets. You heard that right. Doubling your money with my code UBST. So bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. And that way you can make sure this season is a winning season for you, even if it may or may not be for the Carolina Panthers, your favorite team. The next topic is Dave Canales' press conference today after he got a chance to watch the film, digest, and meet with the players and his own coaching staff. He had a very candid conversation. He was questioned about a lot of his decisions, from not playing players in preseason to their game plan going out to what some of the decision making went into what Bryce did in his poor performance. And he took a lot of accountability. He didn't want to regret his own decisions on the preseason portion, but in terms of the game plan and just everything that happened, he took a lot of responsibility on his process and what things went into that. I'll play the clip.
I'm considering looking at all of it and just making sure, in year one, let's just be really honest and really open about our processes and the way we did things to see what the result is. And that's one game. We're going to have to collect some games and then say, did that effect carry out for all these games? Was this game one piece of it an anomaly? The protection issues, on some of the third downs, the sacks, right? We had a scheme. They schemed us better. That's coaching. We have to be able to put our guys in better situation in that regard.
All those came from the DB. From a coach offense, is it Bryce's responsibility to check out of those? How does that work?
It's both, but honestly, it's on the coaching staff. It's on us. We sat there like we were sitting ducks. We didn't do enough to put our guys, to give them simpler solutions in some of those. And this is one of the best third down pressure packages that you're going to go against. We saw it week one. We've been against it before. We had a plan. He had counters. So we got out coached in that regard. I take that personal. There was one that Bryce could have seen, and he could have flipped the protection. He's been fantastic doing that. That's the only one I would say that he could have really fixed the problem. They gave us issues with what they did. We need to do better than that. That's coaching.
When you say you take it personal,
yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, for me, I take it personal anytime that I feel like I'm putting our players at a disadvantage where they don't have simple solutions.
You guys know me. I'm a guy that's a big fan of Dave. I'm really hoping that things really work out for him. Unfortunately, with this fan base, we've heard be patient and some of the similar messaging that he's had. And we've been waiting for years. Since David Tepper has took over this team, we know the demise of this team it's just been so bad and so depressing to be a part of and witness. And just to hear another coach come in and preach patience, it falls on deaf ears. But I think with a guy like Dave, it may take some time because he seems like he has what it takes to figure things out, but he's still figuring things out. He was honest about his process. He said that, hey, this is what we did. We may not stick to it all the way in 4 or 5 weeks. Hey, we need to get some data. Then we'll assess and look at, hey, is this a problem or what we're doing wrong? And we'll step back, we'll tweak it and make changes. He's not going straight to the drawing board now and just scrapping everything. He wants to at least collect some information and collect some data on some of their processes, from the practicing, from the pregame routine, from all the stuff that goes into the game plan and stuff like that, and then assess how they go about it, and emphasis on those core principles that he wanted to have as a coach in that old fat notebook that he talked about he built up over the years. And I can appreciate this transparency. We've seen other coaches before that, hey, They put this stuff out there and they're like, hey, I know this is going to work. We just have to see it through. It's only going to take 7 years and we'll be able to figure this out. I'm telling guys every day that we're close, we're close, we're close. No, Dave Canales is like, hey, we're trying certain things. I'm still figuring things out in my first year. Year one is going to be an evaluation period, even for myself. We're going to try out plans and stuff that I think are going to work, but we're going to also assess as we go and make tweaks as necessary. And I think having that type of conviction and accountability about yourself is good. Now, of course, this is a results-based business. We're not going to just let you learn on the fly for years on end, but I'm willing to give this guy a chance because of the honesty that he has, and I expect the honesty that he probably has with his players as well in terms of what he sees through this process. Unfortunately, we are a long way, and I think yesterday might have been just a wake-up call about where we are in terms of just talent-wise and experience-wise and just putting everything together, because we got shell-shocked. The whole team looked unprepared. Now, it's one thing if you want to blame Bryce Young and stuff like that, but for us to, like, procedure-wise to have some issues, it seems like receivers were fumbling fundamentally. On defense, we couldn't stop a nosebleed. Even the special teams got smoked. All three phases of the game, we just were unprepared. I think it's fair for coaches to take that. And I said that on my live stream. So I really appreciate Dave coming to the front and just admitting that. Now, of course, stuff does fall on the players. Players do have to execute. But in terms of getting them prepared for that, yeah, it's on the coaches to do that to an extent as well. So I'm actually happy that Dave had these type of comments. Like I said, we'll still see how things go. You really want to see how they come out in week 2 and shake back based off of the adversity that they saw. We're really going to find out a lot about the team in general for there, because look, you have to flush this game. There's still 16 games for better or worse ahead of this team. And they are professionals. They take this stuff personal. Dave Canales said he takes being out-coached personal, and he admitted that he was out-coached. And it takes a lot to say that, especially with the type of coach Dennis Allen is. Yeah, he can do some things on defense, but in my opinion, he is one of the worst coaches in the division overall. He's been on the hot seat this year. We'll see how things go based on how well the Saints actually are. We don't know if they're just that good or the Panthers are that bad after what happened yesterday, but things will play out, and I expect Dave Canales to hopefully figure it out in the long run. You guys let me know how you feel about his comments down below. Some people are saying that, hey, we don't need to be patient because we've been patient. He needs to figure things out. So I want to get you guys' thoughts about what you heard from Dave Canales. Next up, it seems like pessimism is an all-time high, man. According to Sheena Quick, Falcons tickets for the Panthers game just sold for $1. Prices are going down. Now, this can be a good or bad thing. It can be a bad time because, of course, people don't want to go to the game, but we've seen this movie before. I know a lot of PSL owners may be having some regrets about actually giving this team a chance. Even though it is still early, people think it's same old, and you're not wrong to think that could be the case. We haven't been winning enough for me to tell you different. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you on that. But if you've never been to a Panthers game or experienced a Panthers game, this could be a good opportunity for you to go. $1, you can't beat $1. I mean, there's a lot of things you can buy for $1. Probably a sweet tea. You probably can't even do that anymore in terms of McDonald's. But you could probably go to a Panthers game for $1 plus ridiculous ticket fees. But regardless, for a guy like me that's going to a few games this year, having lower ticket prices for the Panthers is a good thing because I do still love this team. I can't see myself jumping to another bandwagon. There's certain moments and memories that you won't be able to ever have again, like going to Germany like I plan to do this year. So being able to take advantage of lower ticket prices is more of an opportunity, but it also is an indictment on where things are and where this franchise is under the David Tepper regime, because we know those tickets were going for fairly cheap last year in that monsoon game later against the Falcons in the year. So I want to let you get you guys' thoughts. Are you going to take advantage of these cheaper tickets? Are you going to wait for the Panthers to let things play out to see if they go even lower? I want to get you guys' thoughts down below. And last but not least, the Panthers made a move, of course. We don't know what the corresponding move will be, but Felipe Franks, the tight end, was waived. He was signed to the Panthers active roster after cuts and stuff. They brought him up from the practice squad to help out. He only played 4 snaps on offense, and he had a handful of snaps on special teams, but no corresponding move has been made. We're going to see what happens. Could a trade be on the horizon? Could another veteran come in? Because after week 2, vested veterans, as in guys that are experienced, you can bring them to your roster and their salary is not guaranteed. Many times teams like to do this because if you bring a guy in that late and you cut him later on because it doesn't work out, you're not on the hook for the guaranteed salary. But if you signed him before that, like around that 53-man roster deadline or even week 1, you are on the hook for that guaranteed salary. So expect the Panthers to potentially try to make some moves I hope it's maybe an edge rusher because we need somebody experienced, in my opinion, on the opposite side of Jadeveon Clowney because our D-line needs help in general, especially with Derrick Brown being out. But having somebody more experienced on the edge, I think will go a long way. But you guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about this. Who do you think they could potentially be making a move for? What position would you want them to bring in replacement of the Felipe Franks move in the vacant roster spot that we currently have? I want to get you guys' thoughts down below. Let me know about anything we talked about in this video. I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. All the support means everything to me in these tough times, man. We're here for each other. I'll see you next time. Peace.